Hey guys, so I am coming on to just show you how to do a basic wig. If you're at home and you don't want to pay the money to get a wig done, but you really don't know what to do, I'm just going to show you some basic tricks and tips on making your own wig. I'm not going to, of course I'm not going to share with y'all everything that I do when I make my wigs for my clients, but if you're at home and you want to make your own wig that's durable and it lasts and it look good, I'm definitely going to show you some things that you can do on your own. Now first, of course, you're going to start off with a wig head. You can use this type of it's like a block wig head, or you can use a styrofoam wig head. You can use whatever you have. Or you can use a styrofoam head. If your head's a little bit bigger than the styrofoam heads that come at the beauty supply store, you can always use a tape method, and that's where you just kind of tape the styrofoam to build up the width or the circumference of your head. This one is my exact size, so this is the one that I'm going to use. Now that I've laid down the wig cap, and you can get this wig cap from the beauty supply store, it's just a mesh dome wig cap. I have pinned it all around, and this is important, to pin your wig cap down to your wig head all around. I have a bunch of little pins, and this ensures that when you sew on your hair, your wig cap is not moving, it's not kind of lifting up. So when you're done with your wig, it'll be smaller. It won't fit your head. If you have these pins, and it's just going to stay exactly, you know, where it needs to stay. I will leave a link on how to measure your head in the bottom bar below. So yeah. Now after I put the wig cap on, I still have some loose pieces right here, and I like to kind of just pin this out the way. Let me show you how I do that. I just kind of take it and kind of just pin it out the way. I'm sorry, the kids are outside playing, the neighborhood children, so if you hear that, please excuse it. And I just put a bobby pin, so I just, let's see, grab some of the fabric, kind of flip it over, and I just put a little pin in it, so that when I do get up to this point, I can just sew all of this down, so you won't have any extra hanging fabric hanging out your wig, and it just makes your wig fit really nice on your head. So I'm just going to do that all around, make sure everything's tucked in and pinned down. So now that you have all that pinned down, you are really ready to begin your wig. Your wig cap is securely put on the wig head, and it's not going anywhere. Okay, so when I'm doing a wig, I do like to have multiple needles threaded, at least 7 to 10, just so I don't have to keep stopping to thread my needle. But I'm going to show you, if you're a beginner, an easy way to knot your needle. So of course you're going to grab your thread. I just have some nylon thread that I like to use. And just going to, of course, put the thread through the needle. Pull out about as much as you like to use. Now, easy way that I like to thread the knot my the end of my thread is kind of roll it around my finger a couple times, roll it off my finger, pull the end of the thread, and it knots. Really easy. And I'll just cut off the extra thread. Let me zoom y'all in. I like to actually start my thread going through the fabric first. And when you're using these wig caps with elastic going around, Do not sew through the elastic, only sew through the fabric. This little fabric part that I'm pulling, that's the only part you're going to sew through. If you sew through the elastic, it's not going to be stretchy anymore, and you might mess up your wig. So now it's knotted on there. Now the only time that I sew through the weft, I only sew through the weft twice. That's at the beginning of the weft and at the end of the weft. The beginning of the weft and when I'm done with the weft. That's the only time that I sew through the weft. And what you're just going to do is right at the tip, just going to take it. This one I already had a little hole in it because it's my second time using this hair. And you're just going to pull it through. Right there. Then you're going to go under the weft. Now you don't have to sew through it. If you really do not like sewing through your weft, you don't have to. You can just go over and over. You just sew over and over and over on the end of the weft to make sure it's going to be secure and it's not going to move or slip out. But I just, I just like my wigs. I just like to know that my wigs are going to be secure on my head, so I just like to go through. And then I just like to sew at this, like I said, the beginning part just a few times to make sure everything is nice and secure right at the end. And then on that last time, I kind of double the knot. And now your weft should be secure to your wig head. Now, so when you're sewing your hair down and you got to keep dealing with this weft falling all over the place, I like to just pin the end of the weft up so I can have my other hand free. So I just kind of put it to where I want it to stop. Over here. Take a needle, just tack it down. So now I don't have to worry about the hair and I have both my hands free. Now it's time to sew. Now you could just sew through the hair, keep going like that. You're going to be done really fast. Really, it's not going to take long if you just keep on going through. I don't really like to sew like that because I don't feel like it secures my hair to the cap. I like to do the kind of loop and pull. So with one hand, you're going to have this string in your hand. You're going to have it like this, okay? You're going to have it kind of like that. Other hand, you have your needle. And what I mean by loop and pull, you're going to go through under the weft, out, and take that hand and pull it back. Okay? Okay? One more time. Under the weft, pull it out. You're always going to have your, if you're right-handed, you're always going to have this string, this extra string pulled in your left hand. If you're left-handed, it's going to be the opposite. I don't like sewing through the seam, so I'm going to skip that. Pull it. Bam. I'm going to zoom out so you can see. Got my left hand holding this string pull it out, bam. Once you get the hang of that, and you know that becomes comfortable, you will be able to do your wig really fast. Okay, really fast. So I'm just going to continue to do that. It's good to maybe have a comb just in case your hair kind of wants to get tangled up in the string like this hair likes to do. Some hair doesn't really do it. This hair kind of has a lot of flyaways, and so yeah, it's gonna do that. That's gonna bother me. So yeah. You do want to make your stitches rather close. They don't really, if you do this loop and pull method, they don't have to be that close. But I do like to make sure that my wefts are just completely laid down to the unit and they're not bulking up anywhere. So I do like to make sure I put my stitching relatively close to each other. Take the hair, flip it over. Now you don't want to pull it. You don't want to pull it. If you pull this track and sew it down like that, it will pull on the edge of the cap, and it's going to end up too small for your head. You really just want to fold it over. Kind of press down and fold it over. Okay, and I like to take, once again, I like to take a little pin and pin that down so I can really concentrate on securing the track down. Now that it's folded over, I'm just going to take my needle. This time I like to go kind of overhanded, and I also sew this top track and the bottom track together. So the track that's right under this one, I sewed these two. The needle goes through both of those tracks, and it really smashes the two tracks together, so you don't have that much bulkiness. So I'll just go over, remembering not to go through the elastic, and pull it out like that. I pull it up. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit closer to the edge this time. I do apologize if you cannot see. So pull it up. Really secure that track down. I like to do it, I like to kind of sew the two, I like to sew the two together about 3 times. It's gonna be my last time. Okay. So now it's flat. As flat as it's going to be, like I said, these are pretty thick wefts. And yeah. And we're just going to take that off. And end it. Okay. And once again, we're going to go with the loop and pull method, and this time we're only going to sew down the single track. You're not going to be sewing down both tracks anymore. You're just going to be sewing down the single track right here. You only sew down both tracks together right at the end, and then once you've done about 3 stitches, you're only going to sew down this one track. I hope that makes sense. If not, I am so sorry. I'll demonstrate it one more time. Okay. So once again, we're going to do the loop and pull. Making sure to only go through that fabric. We're going to miss that seam. You don't want to sew through the seam. Now, as far as how close to sew the tracks together, that really all depends on how much hair you have in each bundle. If you have bundles that do not have a lot of hair in them, you're going to probably, I will leave about maybe this much in between it. But if you have a lot of hair, you want to stack them right on top of each other, so you can get all the hair in there, and you know, it'd be nice and full. These pins for anything. I still need to have this kind of out the way, so I just put the hair on there. I'm gonna go through, and we're gonna do the same thing. Take this track, fold it over. Don't pull on it. Actually make a nice little fold in it. You don't want your wig cap to pull. Press down on that fold, get it nice and flat. Go ahead and put your bobby pin in there. And put one. And put one more over here to kind of really hold it out the way. Okay. Like I said, I like to go over on this part. Take that needle. You're going to go through both tracks. I'm sorry, you're going to go through both wefts. The top weft and that last bottom weft. Okay, so I like to pull it up, really secure it down. Hope you can see. And do about 3 times. Guys, folding, I do recommend folding your wefts. It will make your bundles last much longer and will reduce shedding. And I like to pull it up. So now I can just go ahead and sew down this one track. So we're just going to loop under. This is a new thread. We're going to take the end of the thread. We're going to take the needle and we're going to pull it through. So now it's secure on there. Okay, and you're just gonna go right on back to sewing. Doing that loop and pull method. Like I said, once you kind of get a hang of the loop and pull, it will really shorten your wig making process. We're at that point again. Fold it over. Go ahead and secure it down. Get all these little flyaways out the way. And wanna do this. One. Secure it. If you have to you know, secure it more than about 3 times, go ahead and do it. You know, do what you have to do to make sure the ends are laying down. Okay, you want your wig to last. That's the whole point of it. You're making a lasting wig. Gotta get it right on that. There we go. That's what I was missing. Now we can go ahead and get back to it. I'm just gonna keep continuing this, and I'll come back to y'all when I am kind of near where I'm going to put the closure on. Okay guys, so now I'm going to do the closure, and I have sewn the tracks all the way up to this point. And you guys, I know some people get a little upset when I don't show the whole process, but you guys, I actually continue to do the same thing that I showed you earlier. I just did it all the way up until I got to here. I didn't change anything at all. Everything is just the same, so don't think I didn't show you anything. So yeah, now we're at the closure part, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started and show you how to sew down the closure so it just lays completely flat. I have already pinned down the closure on this side, and I put two in the back. So now the closure is all pinned down, and let's see. Now I can start sewing it. I'm gonna remove this one pin right here. Actually, it's two. I'm gonna take this out. What I first like to do is go through the wig cap first. Go ahead and knot my string. Then I go ahead and start sewing down the closure. Go through the closure right at the front. And as you can see, I have all the hair on the closure pinned up into a bun so it will not get in my way. And also I have some little clips just in case I need to control the flyaways. So that's my first stitch, and we're just going to do it again and go a little bit further back. You don't want a lot of space when you're sewing down a closure. You want the closure to lay seamlessly. Okay, so let's see if I can position this so you can see what I'm doing. It's gonna be hard to do this on camera. I'm gonna try. Like I said, you want the stitches to be very close, because that's going to get you your flattest install. You don't want your one stitch to be right here and the other one to be right here. No, they want to be super close. You want to make sure you're pulling the string nice and tight. Now this closure, it's not really the ones I like because it did not have that extra little protective strip going around to sew on, so I'm just sewing on the lace. I don't like lace closures like that just because I think it can cause the closure to fray, and I just don't think it lasts as long as the closures that have the protective strip around it. But you know, and you can see I am sewing, putting my stitches very close together. I do believe this is an important step. I don't usually rush through or do my closure installation fast. I do usually take my time on it because I really feel like that's one of the most important parts of a closure wig is the closure. I did leave a little bit of lace around the closure for me to sew on. And I think when I do it like this, when I actually sew on just a little bit of the lace instead of actually inside the closure, it makes the closure last a little bit longer and will not fray as easy. This closure is not the best closure. It's really not. It's not cut even on both sides. It's kind of cut weird, but you know, sometimes just gotta work with what we have, you know, especially if we get hair from these vendors on AliExpress. You know, sometimes you just have to just make it work. You know, you don't want to spend a bunch of money on the hair, and you don't want to spend a bunch of money on someone making the hair for you. So we're gonna show you how to make it look good. As you can see, that's what it's looking like so far. And sewing it down. I'm gonna take this little piece off. Now, I have been sewing closures long enough to where I can just keep going all the way around the closure. Just keep sewing all the way around. But when I was learning how to sew down a closure, what worked for me was sewing the closure halfway. Like I would stop right here and then go on the other side and go around and meet in the middle. That to me ensured that the closure was going to lay correctly on the wig cap, and it wouldn't have any lumps or bumps in it. So I'm going to show you that technique. I really do suggest doing that if you're new to sewing down closures. Because I know at one time in the beginning when I was learning, I sewed all the way around, and when I got done, the closure was like on one side, it was like hanging off the wig cap. So yeah, we're going to show you how to not do that. Okay guys, I'm on my last and final track that I'm going to sew in, and I am going to just connect it with the lace closure and go all the way around. I know you probably can't see because it's not light outside anymore, but yeah, what I'm going to do is sew it around, connect it to the wig cap, and I'll connect it to the closure. So let's go. Okay you guys, so I am all done with this wig. As you can see, I didn't show me cutting this part off, and when I was doing it I said shoot, I should have shown, but all I did was cut the little piece of wig cap that was under this closure off, just to expose the lace closure. And yeah, just cut that on off. And yeah, this is the finished wig. It's all done, it's complete, and it's ready to be styled and whatever you want to do with your unit. I'll probably make this a straight sleek wig, nothing serious. But yeah, just don't forget to, when you're done with your wig, to comb through it, get all the hairs out, loose hairs out that may have shed. And yeah, that's it you guys. If y'all have any questions on anything that was shown in this video, definitely leave them down below, and I will get back to y'all as soon as possible. Have a blessed night. Bye.